what's going on is I'm attracting, doing well, attracting, but I'm having some distraction. Like things just go away, disappear. Like a wallet, like a phone, a coat, and a case of paper towels. I mean, meaningless things. I had a booklet of car washes, and I had a real treasure. I had the outside bag from a Crown Royal bottle. I love that bag, you know, and I put my change in it, and I'd set it right there beside my seat in my car. And you need to know I live in the country, so people don't, you know, I don't live next door to somebody. So there's nobody wandering the property. These things are just gone. And
well, now you said something that we want to focus on. You said meaningless things.
okay, thank you. Yeah.
So if they're meaningless, isn't it just as well that they go away?
Well, that's where I came to after I was dealing with what was going on. Now, this is in the presence of other people.
But you see, you're the perfect person for us to have this conversation with, because you're so manifestation oriented. Here we are wanting to build bridges to help you to understand that there's this vortex. It must seem odd to those of you who are trying to explain it to your family and friends. Yeah, there's this man who calls his wife Abraham, and she must be a schizophrenic, because she refers to herself as we, and she makes this big circle on the floor and calls it a vortex and insists that everything we want is in it. But we do this because we are wanting to help you to bridge into this vibrational world that you really are more of a part of than you recognize. Your physical, tangible, manifestational world has made you misunderstand what's really going on. So when you begin to acknowledge that you are vibration, and you begin to experience the leverage of true vibration, then things of a usual manifestational nature the lines begin to blur, and you begin to accept more that you are a creator who is unlimited. You just have to look at things like earning power, and notice the huge difference in the earning power from action and the earning power from alignment with vibration. In other words, you look into the economics of your world, even into your stock market world, even to the intangibles, and so many people don't understand them. And we say, it's time for you to accept the intangibles in your physical world and acknowledge that you are vibrational beings who are lining up with the feeling of the intangibles. Because when you line up with the feeling of the intangibles, which means you take the manifestation out of the equation, now you're free, now you're unlimited. And it's our promise to you. The manifestation, the tangibles, will show themselves to you. They will demonstrate to you where you're at.
Well, I attribute where I'm at to focusing on the journey, not on the manifestation. The manifestation's fun.
Well, those are very good words, but not implied fully in the rhetoric that you offered to us before you made that statement. In other words, those are words that you are offering, but is it really what you believe?
Well, and that is what I'm wondering about. These little events are, to me, an anomaly.
And that's our point. When they become normal, then you will be the creator you were born to be.
You mean the going away of things?
we mean when you accept that you are a vibrational being, and that it is your focusing of things into being. You used some words. You said, I get distracted. I'm not holding things in focus. And that's the whole point of this conversation. You have to hold something in focus and practice the vibration of something in focus long enough for it to come into your reality. And when things start disappearing from your reality, it means that they are fused from your focus. Now, we know this feels out there, but because you live in a world where suddenly if everything on this table disappeared, we would make headlines, wouldn't we? unless there was a tremendous sleight of hand going on. But it's the focusing of things. Every word that we have offered from this platform here today is about focusing yourself into alignment with what's in your vortex. And sometimes what happens as we visit with our physical friends is that you have one foot in this vortexual world, you have this one foot in this inner world, you conceptually get it, you accept that there is vibration going on, and you're beginning to acknowledge that your emotions play a big part in your acknowledgement of it. But most people, while they have one toe in this vibrational world, they have the other foot firmly planted in the world of reality. And that really is what is holding you back, because it's the taking score of what is and the incessant vibrational attachment to what is that prevents or disallows the movement into more. So if we were standing in your physical shoes, these are the comments that we would begin making to ourselves. We would say, I must be moving into an understanding of vibration, because the physical world that I've always seen as stable and structured and material and reality is beginning to shift for me just a little bit. I'm beginning to notice that my attention to subjects is having an effect on how close they stay into my experience. All of you have this experience. You walk into a room, you have something in your hand, and suddenly you don't know where you put it. Esther just loves it when she's in a room by herself, because if she's not in a room by herself, Jerry gets the blame for everything that she can't find. Did you take my phone? Do you have my keys? Do you know where my purse is? In other words,
where's my wallet, Jerry? I knew there was somebody.
But when you know you were the only one that is there, then you acknowledge that there is something going on, and we want to take it beyond an understanding that in an unconscious moment you just moved it somewhere and put it somewhere. We want to take it beyond that. We want you to accept that the universe is constantly moving things into being, and in the same way that this Earth is now spinning in its orbit in perfect proximity to other planets, we want you to understand that you have the ability to focus things into being too. And if you don't get too deliberately hung up on the specifics of how it is coming about, all kinds of amazing things will begin to happen in your experience.
What I concluded ultimately, obviously you have the upsettedness of something being gone and you can't explain it, and you're the only one there, like you say. And
but what are 10 good things about that? What are 10 good things?
10 good things. Well, I have one good thing. Maybe not 10, but what I concluded was the loss of those things, which it appeared to be something.
Well, now you're getting too carried. You're not answering the question, and you're not receiving the benefit of the question. Because you're speculating too much, and then you're getting all bogged down in the muck and mire of wondering about where I went. 10 good things about my physical world beginning to demanifest around me is that, 1, I am beginning to acknowledge that I'm a conscious, deliberate creator. Another thing is that I'm beginning to recognize that the laws of the universe are more powerful than anything that I have understood before. Next, I'm beginning to understand the benefit of the power of my focus. And if I can detach my attention to something, if there are physical things that are actually beginning to remove themselves from my experience, then certainly I can leave behind habits that I don't want, or relationships that I don't want, or thoughts that are full of resistance that I don't want. It's my lack of attention to them that is causing them to begin to fade away. I'm beginning to believe, we're speaking from your point of view, again, looking for these 10 good things, I'm beginning to understand that everything comes into structure and focus because of attention to it. And I'm beginning to discover the power of my own mind. And these are just the first steps in beginning to understand this. Focus is everything. Vibration is everything, you see. Scientists have held themselves back from the beginning of their first scientific experiment because they feel it necessary to document the what-isness to the point that they don't make the jump to the next what-be. In other words, they are so tenacious about documenting what is that they don't allow the possibilities of what they would really prefer. Where if they could let go of that, what they prefer would come into being, and then they could examine it and explain after the fact how it got there, you see. And that's really what this conversation is about.
Yes, exactly. I concluded that all these things were a manifestation of my abundance. That's what, in other words, not caring about them, disregarding them, just moving forward in
Well, you keep wanting to bring the topic back to abundance because lack of cash flow or lack of abundance is what is stuck in your vibrational craw. And so it's sort of there, is sort of radiating all around there. And what the universe is trying to say to you is, we'd like to distract you with this and distract you with this and distract you with this. We'd like you to understand that the rules of the game that you've been defining as the accurate rules of the game aren't the accurate rules of the game at all. We would like to start helping you to defy the logic that you have concluded to understand that there's a much bigger picture going on. That's what's happening here.
That's really
and so as we explain this to you, then you keep going back and explaining it again through the cash thing, you see. Your vortex is pregnant with a fortune, you see. It is, we're not just trying to impress you by giving you information that you want to hear. We never speak that which is not. It is pregnant with the abundance that you are seeking. You just have to relax and accept that it's there and watch for the evidence of it in new ways. In other words, the fairies of the universe, your inner being, are saying to you, it's not what you think, it's not what you think, it's not what you think, it's not what you think. And then you say, well, I've concluded. And then you have another experience. It's not what you think, it's not how you've been looking at it, it's not that way. And you say, well, then I've concluded this. And we say, stop concluding so much. Stop concluding. Stop trying to accurately define it all. Start saying, hey, it's open-ended. I really don't know what's possible. I'm beginning to accept that all things are possible. I hear that my vortex is pregnant with all kinds of wonderful experiences for me and all kinds of manifestational abundance for me. I hear that. I'm open to the universe yielding it to me in whatever quirky, unquirky, normal, not normal. I am willing for it to flow to me in whatever way it can. I'm open, and I'm now understanding that things have never been as I have thought they are, and I'm open to discover how things really are.
I get it. That's the best. I'm just, I'll go. But I hope that pregnancy doesn't turn into a teenager, you know?
You're more trouble than you're worth. Of course, that is never true, and we would never say it to someone who didn't know otherwise. Now what? Yes. Creation is really about perception, and perception is about vibration, and vibration is about attraction. So what you perceive really is the reality that you are living. But you will have the ability to alter your perception much more quickly and much more fantastically than you've been giving yourself credit. You've been holding so closely to the manifested reality that you have created limited experiences.
Give me 45 seconds and I'll show you how this kid managed to manifest $1 million business by 19 years old, get into the Two Comma Club, find the love of his life, and travel the world and create a life he loves. Now, I know it sounds crazy, but it's actually simple. That kid is me, and at 11 years old, I saw the secret. And I learned a lot, but frankly, I was still struggling with the law of attraction until I discovered the real secret behind the secret. And that's when the big things happened. I dramatically grew my business, met this beautiful, beautiful lady, and much, much more. And it wasn't just me. I started to share this with my students, my clients, and Sylvia manifested $5,000 in a single day. and then a bunch of other people managed to create 6-7 figure businesses. Yes, even become millionaires. Now, I only have 45 seconds in this video, so I can't share everything here. So that's why I'm hosting a free live stream where I cover everything in detail you need to know on how to manifest anything you want, even if you don't believe you can. So if you want to join, if you're on mobile, you should be able to tap on a link on the upper right-hand corner. On desktop, it's in the lower left corner, so just click over there. You can the stream free of charge. Now, when you go to the page, this is how it's going to look like, or something like that. So just click the green button, and you'll be able to reserve your seat either today or tomorrow. That's right. Now, look, I don't come from rich parents or a rich family. It's not luck, and I'm really, frankly, nothing special. I'm just an average kid who didn't even speak English from Central Europe. All I did is stumble upon the real secret behind the secret, which I'll give you a little hint. It's about changing your identity. And I want to share it with you so that you can too manifest anything you want, even if you don't believe you can. So be sure to join the free live stream right now. That's how the page is going to look like. Just click yes, reserve my seat, and you'll be able to join. It's 100% free. Now, the stream is happening today and tomorrow only. So if you want to take advantage of it, do it right now.
I can't really believe that so many people are still working the old way, selling time to a boss every day to get a salary in return, helping to build someone else's dream. And let's face it, when you get back home in the evening, there is almost no time and energy left to do the things that you really want to do. And over time, people become unhappy with their lives and they begin to regret they did nothing about it at the right time. Thankfully though, there are much better ways to earn an income which are available online. I still remember the day that I actually realised this myself. I had a good job, I had a good salary, but I was never really excited about what I was doing. Some mornings I would dread going into work, and I used to hate being stuck in rush hour traffic every day. And I remember thinking, is this really it? Is this really what I need to do now for the next 30 or so years? So I went home that evening and I was determined to find another way that I could earn an income online. So I started scrolling through YouTube, watching videos on self-improvement, Tony Robbins, personal development, and even learning how to sell on Amazon. I then happened to see a video from a guy in Germany named Valerie, and he'd managed to create his own online business with his website selling products for him 24/7. He was able to leave his job and enjoy a totally new lifestyle, which was exactly what I wanted to do. So I decided to contact him and basically asked the question, how did you achieve this? And he actually responded, which I was very surprised about, and he said he wanted to share his knowledge and help me do it for myself. He sent me a video series which shows exactly how to start up an online business from scratch with his mentor, a guy named Stuart Ross. Now, I have to admit, I was very sceptical because nowadays there are so many scams on the internet, and at the time I didn't really trust anything online. But I still decided to at least watch the videos, and honestly I'm so glad that I did, because these videos showed me exactly how to create my own online business, how to source products, but the one thing that amazed me the most was it showed me how many people are actually working for themselves and earning an income with just their laptop. It showed me this completely new digital world that I never knew existed. So I followed every step in the video series and that Valerie sent to me, and it's completely changed my life. Today, I'm at a point in my own journey where I want to do the same for others. So if you're watching this video and you want to learn how to start up your own online business from scratch, I'm more than happy to send you the same video series that Valerie sent to me, for free, as this is how I received it. So if you click on the link on this video, it will take you to my website. If you fill in your name and your email, that's all I require, and I will send the videos directly to your inbox. If you're someone who's open to learning new things, who wants more time, freedom, a secondary income, or even a primary income from working for yourself, then I strongly recommend you to click on the link and to have a look at the videos yourself. I was in the same situation as you, and I remember thinking, this all just sounds too good to be true. But actually, thinking back now, it was just an amazing opportunity that presented itself, and I didn't want to pass it up.
On the cruise, you talked about Source doesn't see, it doesn't have taste, touch, smell, or sight, it feels. And that was really a mind-blowing thing for me because I always felt like people were watching me and I never understood that they were really only feeling me. And it actually was a really cool moment because I realized for the first time that...
Before you go further, we want to stick something in because it might change the direction of your question, your really good question. We just want to throw this in for you. We have said that, we do say that, and we do mean that, it is how it is, that it is your physical apparatus that has the translators of the vibration that gives you taste and touch and sight and sound and so forth. So without that physical apparatus, then those experiences are different from non-physical. But the satisfaction that you feel when you taste something that you like is felt by us.
Yes, that's the part I got for the first time.
So you could say that if it tastes good to you, it tastes even better to us. But it's not because of what's going on in the tongue. It's a vibrational satisfaction that is deeper and richer than anything that your physical senses give you.
Yeah, and for the first time I realized it doesn't matter what we do, it matters how we feel about what we do. That's how that came together for me for the first time.
And now, when you get out ahead of it by segment intending before you get there, can you understand the exponential ramifications of that? When you get some momentum going before you even get into that segment, when you get yourself tuned in and in the state of satisfaction before you meet up with that segment, we want to introduce this. We haven't talked about it here, and then we want to hear you completely. It applies completely to where you're going. As we said earlier, we've been talking about segment intending right from the beginning with Jerry and Esther. And Esther had an impression that what segment intending meant was, I'm going to get in my car and I'm going to intend safety to the next place. And I'm going to get in my car and I'm going to intend open traffic, things like that, which we were in agreement with. That wasn't something that we weren't encouraging her to think. But her impression still was, I'm going to